I don't have anything nice to say about what I saw with Dr. Simone, her husband, and her sons. I don't have anything nice to say. What I'm going to do instead of calling folks out their name, is I want to talk about like a bigger thing in our community, and I'm sure it's not just black women. It's not just us. I know it's not just us, but I'm black. I have a black mom. I have a little brother. I have male cousins. I have grandmothers. I have aunties. And a reoccurring theme that I know that happens with the men in our community and the women who are like their mothers, their grandmothers, their aunties, is they baby them. And they baby them so far past the point of being babied that when they're at the age where they should be taking full responsibility of their actions, where they should be like having some type of responsibility and accountability about themselves, they don't, because it was never required of them. And then the same women who babied them are sitting there with egg on their face, shaken, confused as to why this young man has no sense of urgency, has no sense of responsibility or care for like the actions that he's made, right? And this can be something as egregious as what I saw on my screen on Married to Medicine, or it can be something as small as like washing the dishes. Like, I'm not saying in our families, all of our families are dealing with like $60,000 motherfucking dollars. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is this is a thing. This is a thing. The expectations that are put on the girls in terms of, I expect you to show up, be on your P's and Q's, 1, 2, 3. Of course, we're able to go into the world and handle our business, and we don't need no nigga to help us with a motherfucking thing. And then you end up being Simone, where you handling every motherfucking thing because you've been handling it your whole motherfucking life, and then you don't have no expectations for the men around you, i.e. your husband, i.e. your sons, and you continue that cycle. And then this is where we get into like overcorrecting, where it's like now dating becomes transactional because, you know, we as women are so, oh, the black woman can handle all. But then it's like, I feel like the pendulum switched all the way left because you had a generation of women who was dealing with Cecils, or who grew up watching their mamas deal with Cecils, watching their mamas deal with little brothers like that. So now it's like, well, hell no. How about that? No. I'm automatically going to handle all the business, right? It's a very vicious cycle. And you can tell when you date men, which is what's the whole thing? It's a running joke, but jokes come from truth. Why you don't want to date a mama's boy? Because a mama's boy is going to be a Cecil. A mama's boy is going to, I don't know their son's name. A mama's boy, but you see it from start to finish in that whole scene. You raised him, and then you start out as the son, and then you end as Cecil. Like, and it's a cycle. And the Simone in the situation is mind fucked the entire time because you don't understand how your son ended up like that because he's been watching you deal with his daddy, but you're in a mind fuck because that's what you see in your motherfucking self and the expectations you had of your, it's just too much. I'm not a strong woman. I'm a dainty little flower. You know, and that's where we get into like the pendulum switching into the transactional dating, and it's all connected. It's a web.
When I saw this, I knew that scene was going to be some BS. Because why is that paper still on that pan? Like, I'm not sure if these boys cooked that meal or if they got it catered. But why is that paper still on that pan? Anywho. Simone's 3 boys are horrible. And I feel so bad for Simone. Number 1, Michael is very entitled, like she said, but it is her fault because everybody suspects us her favorite. So, however, him telling his mom, like, oh, you got money, I expected you to pay for my law school. Does he not understand how much law school is? Does he not understand that law school is a commitment? That he has not shown that he is capable of committing to things, really? I mean, yes, he's finally graduated undergrad, but that took some years and some transfers. But law school is very different. And him making the statement like, oh, look at how white people do their kids. Okay, next. And then he made the comment like, well, your mother couldn't do for you like you can do for us. Now you talking about my mama, your granny? How'd she get in this? And then for Cecil to sit there and say nothing is insane. Eugene would never let those boys talk to Toya in any manner like that. And then for Michael to sit there and them all sitting there while Simone is sad talking about retirement, how she works so hard and how she wants to enjoy the fruits of her labor, and they don't care. Like for me, my mom has been working at the post office here since I was 6 months old. I have seen her work weekends. I've seen her work overnight. I see her go to work at 2:30 in the morning when I'm still sleeping. I've seen her work 12-hour shifts for overtime. And yes, that's very different than being a doctor. However, Simone has to wake up when her patients need her. She has to work long hours. And that is her degree. That money is her money. She earned that money. So regardless if she's making $300, $500, $1 million, it is her money to spend, and she can decide how she uses her money. It's not her children's choice. That's entitlement. Especially when you have not proven to me that you are worthy of my money. That whole scene was horrible. And this, Bravo, y'all should have edited that out because that's crazy. Y'all played them boys. But whatever. They deserved it.
I've always known that Dr. Simone's sons wasn't going to be shit. I've known this since they was kids. I knew it before they was even teenagers, especially that little light-skinned one. Y'all remember when Dr. Simone took her sons to go get some frozen yogurt? Her son was like, yeah, because, I like my ice cream like I like my women. Vanilla, nudge, nudge. And then Dr. Simone was like, oh, well, what about chocolate like your mama? This nigga said with his whole chest, yeah, I'll settle. I knew right then and there his ass wasn't going to be shit. That's when I knew right there. And he isn't. He's fucking garbage, like to this day. Then to add insult to injury, how about he going to tell his mama, bitch, you better watch how the fuck you talk to me. I'm going to put your food in the dog's bowl. Girl, what? See, that's the problem. Y'all be thinking that these kids is just joking. Oh, he's just playing around. He's not playing, Simone. He does not fuck with you. The same shit about that ice cream shit. Oh, it's just a joke. He's just playing. Nah. He's not just fucking playing. This is how he feels about you and black women. He's fucking garbage. I'm sorry, but I blame the entire Married to Medicine cast. I do. Because when Dr. Simone told you that she was sick and tired of Cecil and his shit and told you that they was about to file for divorce and they was in the process of getting a divorce, y'all gaslit the fuck out of her and guilt tripped her into keeping her marriage. This is exactly why y'all niggas need to stay the fuck out of people's marriages because y'all don't know what the fuck is going on behind closed doors. Like, now she got 3 bombs. 3 fucking spoiled, entitled bombs living off of her. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Release them. Release them, Simone. It's just so funny because y'all steady talking about, boys need their fathers. Boys need their fathers. And look at the father. While boys do need their fathers, a lot of them are better off without them. Let's be for real. Because a lot of you ain't shit niggas set piss poor examples for your children and your kids follow suit. The little nigga gonna say, well, rich white people's parents don't have a problem with paying for their kids' shit. Girl, that's the problem right then. Right there go the problem right there. Bitch, you think that you rich and white and you're not. Our parents are working class black folk. Yeah, they got a couple nickels to rub together. Yeah, they did well for themselves, but they still had to get up and go to work. The fact that you grew up watching your mammy and pappy, but specifically your mammy, get up every day at the ass crack of dawn and go to work and you still don't understand the value of hard work and the value of a fucking dollar? The fuck? How about when Dr. Simone was like, what if I die tomorrow? What the fuck are y'all gonna do? The boys looked at her like, well, whoop, if you gotta die tomorrow, then whoop they fucking do. Whoop they fucking do. If they really don't give a fuck. They like, if you die, even Cecil was like, yeah, that could happen. The fuck? What you mean that could happen? Huh? Like, I'm gonna just say this and I'm gonna leave it alone. These niggas do not become ain't shit overnight. Dr. Simone's sons have been little fucking menaces to society, little entitled pieces of shit for the longest. They've been displaying this entitled behavior since they were fucking teenagers. Be so fucking for real. Like, it's probably for the best that Michael doesn't like black girls. It's probably for the best. A white girl can have Michael's unaccomplished, spoiled, entitled ass with his funny looking ass. A white girl can have him.
Dr. Simone saying that who else at the table don't want to be married besides me? that is confirmation to everything I've been saying. Simone anger with a lot of situation is really her household. She is so tired of them sons and Cecil. She really is. And honest to God, when she wanted out of that marriage, honestly, that she was ready to leave. If it wasn't for everybody making her feel bad for leaving, she would have been happily gone. Do y'all remember Simone riding around on that damn scooter in the house? What was it? The little scooter that you ride on and tilt your way. She was so happy when they had the North House and the South House, and she was at the South House by herself. She did not want them boys in that house with her. The fact that her son want to make it an issue because she does not want to pay for his law school. And the fact of the matter is when she got them a house, they didn't want to keep it clean. Like, come on. She's constantly giving y'all opportunities to appreciate what she's giving to y'all. And y'all make it seem like she has to give it to y'all. It's entitlement, exactly what she called it. That lady said, here's a condo. I'm buying it. I'm paying for it, everything. Just keep it clean. Y'all couldn't even keep it clean. Or in finding out that you spent $60,000 in a month on that damn Chase card. Like, I just don't understand. How could you be mad at her for not wanting to flip the bill for something else that you're doing when you are financially abusing her? And everybody want to talk about what she should be doing with her money, but everybody talking about what they would like to do for her, but nobody has done it. Nobody would do it. Like, honestly, let's be real. Cecil still don't say I love you. Like, everybody look at Simone like this is stuff you should do for us, not in an appreciative way. I'm just being honest. Their sons is just like their dad, and Simone is tired of all of them. I'm not mad at her, but that's the reality of the situation. Now, damn, Contessa, why you had to come at Brandy like that? Even though Brandy was thinking her husband a lot, I definitely feel like she was appreciative, but I feel like something tells me this is not the norm. He's doing it for the show, but it's not wrong. It's nothing wrong with it. The fact of the matter is he did it and she didn't have to ask. So, yeah, thank him. But girl, you did thank him about 13 times. But Contessa, let's be honest, you was sour the fact that you can never depend on Scott in that type of way. That's the fact. That's why I said Dr. Eugene is my favorite husband. Y'all would never be able to take that from me. Dr. Eugene is the best husband. Now, I don't know how y'all damn threw. I feel like everybody show their cards because how the hell y'all want to start throwing shade to Quad? Talking about some people ain't got a husband, but they got a Rolls Royce. And she had a husband, didn't want that one. Found the man to give her a Rolls Royce. I take the car. It don't give you no damn back talk and talk about I've been driving you around since the day I met you. Like, no, I'll take the car. Contessa Heavenly had it right. Your ass always complaining about your husband and what he does not do. And then soon as somebody remembered that you said he didn't do that, you angry at them. That shit is ass backwards. Stop talking. Stay up off reality TV shows if you don't want them to talk about their marriage that you talked about. Like, come on, delusion. Married to Medicine, this was a good episode. This really was a good episode. Toya really be holding the girl's feet to the fire because she got what contested.
Simone had daughters instead of sons, her life wouldn't look like that right now. It wouldn't be allowed. Like, the level of babying and grace wouldn't be there. Like, the expectation would be different if she had daughters instead of sons. If Simone had daughters instead of sons, I don't even think she would be married to Cecil right now. I think Simone would be focusing on herself, her own happiness. She would be working towards retirement. Cecil would be out in the world trying to fend for himself, and Simone would have told herself that her daughters don't need her for survival. The way that she put on that hazmat suit and was giggling and cleaning that apartment for her grown sons, the apartment that she was paying for, that would not have happened if she had daughters. That time when she went and got that separate house, that is the life that Simone really wants to have. And that's the life I believe Dr. Simone would be living right now if she had daughters instead of sons. She would not be sitting at a table with 3 adults who are like ready to take everything from her. She screamed out with so much emotion, I have given everything that I have to give. And those 3 grown men are like, nah, you're not empty yet. Give us some more. Give us more. We know you got some more to give. We've all heard that saying, raise your daughters and love your sons, or love your sons, raise your daughters, however it goes. We've heard that saying. And this is why I think Simone's life would be completely different if she had daughters instead of sons. sometimes you really can be sleeping with and or raising your enemies. Like, and that is the case for Dr. Simone. She sat at that table with 3 grown men who are all against her. They all want to take from her. They all want to suck her dry. They want to take everything that she has and plus some more. And they don't care that she's running herself into the ground. She's working. She's going to work until she's 100 years old because all 3 of those grown men are leaning on her for survival. They don't care. I just don't think her life will look like that. That's my take.
With Dr. Simone, everybody is talking about how the sons are lazy, but I'm more worried about the sons' potential for violence. Because listen to me, parent don't give them what they want, they can't drive the car or whatever, they're damn near flip a table, throw stuff on the floor, scream, yell, threaten the mama, and all type of stuff. I feel like that's the same type of person that particular son is. Because what do you mean, make sure that what you say is not going to make me take your food and feed it to the dog? And then she did like a little nervous chuckle, like, this is more than just a lazy child. Like, I would hate for my daughter to marry somebody like that, because I could just imagine him not getting his way, what he would do and say behind closed doors when nobody is watching. That's just my thoughts. I could be wrong. I leave room for error, but I just, it's something about him. And that statement he made just made me kind of,
Boy moms create and enable their own oppressors. And you raise a boy to become a man who is entitled over your labor, entitled over your hard work, entitled over your money, doesn't view you as an individual, but instead as someone that is there to serve them, doesn't feel like you can tell them no or set boundaries with them. You create a monster. You create your own oppressor. And that's exactly what Dr. Simone is experiencing with her son. He spent $60,000 on her credit card in 1 month. And she just bought him a new Jeep, and now he's saying he's tired of looking at it. He wants a Tesla. He wants a new car. And if you watch in the episode, she tells him no. Like, and she's asking him, how are you going to pay for grad school? Like, I've already paid your way through undergrad. You have no loans. And he goes off on her. And there's this underlying anger, right? And the anger is coming from a place of, like, what's the word? This male anger that comes from entitlement when a woman tells you no. A lot of us have seen that before in different settings, but it's very interesting to see it from the perspective of the dynamic of a male son to his mother. Quite literally threatened her and her food if she didn't do what he wanted. She talks about the labor that she's experiencing, how she wants to retire, she's exhausted, she's tired of working, and she needs a break, and she cannot afford to keep having to pay for everything and everyone around her. And all the men, her 2 sons and her husband, are looking at her like she got 3 heads. Like she has no right to want to rest and retire because they need her money, because she's made them feel entitled to her labor and entitled to her money. She is no longer an individual or a person or a whole person to them. She is just all the things that she does for them, if that makes sense. It's very sad.
This is going to sound crazy. I know it is, to some extent, because it reaffirms gender stereotypes. But I gotta say it because my mama always says to me, love my brother to death. I love my big brother to death, love him to death, love him, love him, love him. He the only boy, 3 girls. But my mama always says, for the women who got all boys, if you ain't got no girl, life may hit you hard. Because it's just something about having a girl, a female child in the house that just gets all the boys together. Even if you only got one, you got all boys and one daughter. That daughter going to do something to them brothers. She going to do something to her brothers. Or her brother. In my case, I have one brother. Right? If you have all girls, it's not about you. I'm talking about if you got all boys and you got no girls, that girl going to do something to her brothers. Girls make men a little bit more sensitive, more aware. But also, when you have a daughter, especially if you have a great relationship with her, you at least know you got somebody on your side that's going to understand the plight of being a woman. Because yes, it's hard being a man, but it's hard being a woman, right? Why am I saying this? Last night on Married to Medicine, we saw Simone reach her breaking point. Which, if you watch Married to Medicine, you've seen Simone get to certain places. But I don't think we ever seen Simone reach her breaking point when it came to her family until that episode. You got these 3 grown-ass men. One of which, her sons, is already showing the entitlement that, if we be honest, we've been seeing seasons before. Entitlement. Entitled to her money. Actually, let's start with her husband, who don't really got a job. She the breadwinner in the house, and that's another issue, right? Simone the breadwinner. She's an OB. She got her own, she got her own situation. Cecil ain't got really no job. Since I've been watching Married to Medicine, I don't know, this man don't really got no job. And he's mad passive, which is not a problem, but you can't be that passive, sir. Like, you gotta have a little bit more man in your chest. So she the breadwinner. She got her son. They got their two sons who's been getting shit handed to them since day one because they mama make a good amount of money, right? And her son is asking her for a new car because he said his car, he just tired of looking at it, which entitlement, because what the car still drives, still works, still moves. You just tired of looking at it. That's why you want a new car? And you want me to buy it? You're out your rabbit ass mind. You're out your rabbit ass mind. So Simone is like, okay, well, let's pull up the finances from this past, I forgot she said month or year, right? I think she said past year, on what you spent. So we can talk about financial planning, so we can actually think about your future instead of a car that you want me to buy. The first thing out this boy's mouth is, whatever you about to open up, whatever you about to show me, you better make sure that it's not something that's going to make me take your dinner and feed it to the dogs. What kind of shit is that? Now, let me tell you something. And again, I know that, again, the gender thing, yeah. But as a female, as a woman, let my brother talk to my mother crazy. I don't care if you older than me, young. I'm smacking the shit out of you because who are you talking to? Who are you talking to, bruh? But then again, like I said, the gender thing is really just because, for real, even if I was a man and I heard my brother say some shit like that to my mom, I'm smacking the fuck out of you because who are you talking to? Don't talk to our mother like that. But that's how they was raised. Sometimes you raise them kids and let them think that they got all this money. Nah, this ain't your money. That's my money that I use to make sure that you're good. But let's not be mistaken. This is my shit. I work for this. Is my money. So she started laughing. She like, start laughing, whatever, play it off joking. Issue number 755, because I would have been like, excuse you? Watch your mouth. Because if you think you're going to take my dinner and feed it to the dogs, I'm going to take your clothes and I'm going to give it to a homeless shelter. How about that? Oh, okay. Y'all don't be talking to these kids. Y'all don't be whooping these kids how they should be whooped. But anyway, so Simone started talking about how this boy done ran up a $60,000 bill on his Chase card that he ain't paying. She got to pay that shit. You out your rabbit ass mind. And again, maybe it's because I didn't grow up with money. You know what I'm saying? I've been getting shit on my own. My parents, you know what I'm saying, they throw me some money here and there. My dad give me allowance, all that stuff. But 60 racks? Let me tell my mama I got 60 racks on a credit card. She gonna say, Godspeed, good luck, baby. You grown. I'm grown. If I'm old enough to have a credit card, case in point, my little sisters are old enough to now have their credit card. And I told their asses before they got that card, I said, be careful, because you're going to think that shit is your money. It's not your money, but they're going to want their money back. And if you don't give them their money, they're going to add interest. And now you got to give them extra money. What happened? One of my little sisters ran up her card. She talking about some, oh my gosh, I can't do it. I said, I told your ass. And I'm not coming to save you. That's another thing. Yes. Be there for your kids, but sometimes you gotta let their ass be out in that water by themselves. Amen, amen. Let me get back to the point though. So then the conversation transitions over to I guess her son want to be a lawyer. So she's like, "What are you doing? Because you're talking about getting a new car. What are you doing to financially prepare yourself to be a lawyer?" This man gonna talk about some. You're gonna pay for law school. You got the money, pay for it. She said, "Excuse you." Do you know how I got through school? Scholarships and loans. This man gonna start talking about white people, which I'm gonna make a different video, because I hate when black people and parents or children are talking about stuff and y'all want to bring up what the white people doing. You are not white. We are not white. We don't live in a country where black people are treated like white people. So thinking that your response to me asking you something is, well, the white parents, the white kids, well, you're not white and you're not a white kid. You don't have a white parent. Okay? So yes, I'm going to, in the best way that I can possibly, help set you up. But let's remember, we are black in America. Black, brown skin. Okay, you are not white. So no, we're not talking about what white people doing. We're talking about what black people doing. Okay. So he's like, oh yeah, the white people, they pay for their kids to go to school. Da, da, da. She said, yeah. But what about the white people who pay for their kids to go to school and they leave school and don't do shit? Don't do shit. Now, you asking to be a lawyer. Are either of your parents lawyers? No. Do they know lawyers? Probably. But are either your parents lawyers? No. Most of the white people I know whose parents paid for them to go to school, after they went to school, they went and worked at their daddy company because they wanted to be a CEO like their daddy. Now, if you wanted to be an OBGYN like your mama, okay, nepotism. But you're not in the field that I'm in. So don't bring up nobody else besides us and when we talk about this conversation. Next thing you know, Cecil jump in and talk about something. Oh, yeah, well, he do got a point because, there are white people that do support their kids. Simone went off. Rightfully so, because whose side are you on, sir? Mind you, you don't even have no money to be even sending this boy to school. So you trying to tell me I should use my hard-earned money? I'm supposed to be preparing for retirement. But I got to keep on working to pay for you to go to school, and your daddy ain't even helping you, and you sitting here and thinking that you own my shit? You out your rabbit ass mind. I have people that are close to me who are wealthy. You know what they daddy told them? They daddy said, hey, your undergrad taken care of, full out. I'm paying for everything. Housing, room, board, everything. But you see anything after that, that's on you. Once you graduate from undergrad, you want to go to grad school, medical, doctor, neuroscientist, law school, MBA. That's you. That's on you. And that's how it should be. There's certain things that should be on me as your parent. Once you're done with the bare minimum, that's on you, bruh. You got to want that for you. Because what happens if she pays for him to go to law school and he don't do shit? He's sitting there entitled again, laying up in her house. You a grown-ass man. That's another thing. These grown-ass men, they want to be women. You just laying up in your mama's house. You don't got no hustle, no grind, no nothing. You don't want to get no money. And you got a girlfriend who's sitting there watching you lay up underneath your mama? You're bugging, bruh. But anyway, because I know this video finna be ending soon, I feel like the reason why I pray to God I get a daughter is because I cannot imagine sitting there with 3 grown-ass men getting ganged up on, and I ain't got my daughter to have my back. Because one thing about me, I'ma always have my mama back. Love my daddy to death. But I'ma always have my mama back. Simple. And I have family members who don't have no daughters, and I see how they begin treated by their sons, and I know they wish they had a daughter. Have a daughter, y'all, but make sure you treating her right. The end.
Dr. Simone from Married to Medicine was her happiest self when she had a man-free home. Remember about 10 years ago when she was at her wit's end with living with her husband and her sons, and she went out and got her own house, and they had the East and West house? That is when she radiated joy. She would get off work, stop and get her something to eat, or have a girl dinner, relax after work, take a bubble bath, and not have to come home to a house full of entitled men who were draining her energy. When she moved into her own house, she realized that she wanted to divorce Cecil, but she allowed the other women to gaslight her and to guilt her into believing that that's not what she wanted. And they convinced her to move back in and to make her marriage work. And she has been miserable ever since. And looking at the clips from this episode, you can see how those men are literally draining the life energy out of her. And I used to think Cecil was a good guy, but the wiser I became and the older I became and the more experienced I became, I realized that Cecil does not like her, and he's what you call a passive user. And ain't nothing worse than a passive man, because he has a good personality. People think he's nice. People think he's kind, but he's a user. All 3 of those grown men are using her, and her sons have sat back and watched how their dad has taken the back seat and being passive and not taking the lead, and they all feel entitled to her money, her finances, her resources, her energy, her time, just everything. You can literally see the life being drained out of Simone.
And another thing, because while we're talking about it, let's really talk about it. Folks always asking girls and women, why y'all not getting married? Y'all not getting married? Oh my gosh, the marriage rate is declining. And this is just for the heterosexuals, the people that date men and want to marry men. These are the sons that y'all are raising. These are the men that y'all are expecting us to be husbands to. The reason why y'all are trying to force us to be wives to these men is because you're tired of dealing with the bullshit sons that y'all raised. So now you want to push him off to somebody else. Let's really talk about it. Because what do you mean, Dr. Simone? No shade, no disrespect to you, but these are the sons that you and your husband raised. So you expect somebody's daughter to now inherit this ungrateful ass son? These are the boys and the men, because they really not men, that y'all raised. So after you done raised up this boy, didn't raise him actually, after you done coddled this boy for 27, 28, 32, 35 years of his life, you think my ass is now going to come and be married to him and deal with him for the rest of my life? The next 35 years will be on me? The crack that y'all are smoking hasn't even been sold on the market yet. They haven't even created it, bro. This is rare black market crack that y'all think that we finna smoke with y'all. And it's really an insult to my intelligence for you to assume and think that I just watched you barely raise your son, coddle your son, and you think that I'm finna you think I'm finna say, yeah, I want to marry you, take your last name, make a child with you, and then have to raise 2 children? These men don't know shit about cooking, cleaning, getting in that field and working. These are not the men from the 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s. Because even though they had their faults, them men out there, they knew how to go. They was building houses. These men don't even know how to pay the mortgage. They don't even know what the mortgage costs. Because they just expect the wife, here, just... These men was building houses, had businesses. They was out there on that war field, in that field, fighting for the country. Those are the men that y'all think y'all are raising. Y'all is not raising the men. Those not the men. Because at least back then, you as a wife, yeah, you going to make sure it's a nice home-cooked meal on that table. You want to know why? Because that table is sitting in the living room of a house that your husband built. Yeah. He built that house from the ground up. Him and his daddy. Him and your sons built that house. He watched your son build that house. You think if I'm Jayla Henry, that I'm not making sure my husband got a good meal every night? You want your feet rubbed? I'm rubbing you for... I'll put the lotion on your body. Yeah, of course. Jayla, the Henrys, they had, builders build the infrastructure. But I know that y'all... Because I'm on the same TikTok that y'all are on. I be seeing that man building shit for his family. Building that pool house. So if I'm Jayla Henry, you can have whatever you like. Yeah. So you expect me to be Jayla Henry for somebody who only brings me stress? Don't even know where to go buy a pot to piss in, let alone have a pot to piss in? Y'all don't even be raising y'all sons and then y'all bring them to us. At 36 years old, he don't know how to do shit. He can't even cook no rice without burning it. And y'all asking us, y'all wondering, oh my gosh, the marriage rate is declining. Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it? Because statistically, women's life expectancy actually decreases when they get married, and a man's life expectancy increases. Why? Because the woman takes on all the shit. So you think I'm finna decrease my life expectancy ×2 dealing with your son and his bullshit? Get out of my face, bro.
I've watched Married to Medicine, and
I've always said that there was always this strange thing about Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone with their marriages and everything. Because they were doctors, they had this reputation to uphold, and you could always tell, especially with Dr. Jackie, when she got mad at them for picking the place that her husband had took his mistress to, I was appalled, because it was just like, girl, the deal is done and you still stayed, but you wanted to keep your reputation. Same thing with Dr. Simone. Hers was the same thing. I feel like it was always this like regret, and it was always like this bitterness that they stayed with their husbands. And to this day, I still feel like she is the man in that relationship. I don't care. Cecil cool. Now, Cecil cool as fuck. But I still feel like she's the man in the relationship when it comes to, you know, how she parents her children, and then just in general, just like how the relationship maneuvers, regardless of what they've shown us about their marriage over the show. It just always just gave resentment, period. And seeing Quad go through all that she went through with Greg, and then, you know, Sweet Tea and all that stuff, I think everybody felt like they had some type of chip on their shoulder, or a step up of Quad, because she burned her whole marriage, and then she decided to step out on faith and, you know, get what she truly deserved. And I feel like their resentment projects onto Quad all the time. Now, I do feel like Quad is so extra sometimes. But what I can't take away from Quad is that Quad did not allow the marriage with her and Dr. Greg. Is it Greg? Whatever. To hold her back. Like, and I think that's the part, like, people try to create chaos with Quad. You know what I'm saying? Quad tried to create chaos with herself until she finally was like, you know what? Let me go get my shit together. She got her new man, new house, and she's good. And they resent her for that.
Watching Dr. Simone Whitmore cuss out her son, her incredibly ungrateful, entitled, loser, good-for-nothing son like that on Married to Medicine is exactly one of the very, very thousands of reasons why having children, especially having a son, is something I will never do. And I don't give a shit what any of you boy moms say. Boys are a liability, and having sons are a liability, no matter what you say and no matter how you try to convince any of us. That woman is surrounded by males that do not like her, that do not care for her, and really couldn't give a shit less whether she passed away tomorrow. I know that sounds really harsh, but it's one of the thousands of reasons why many of these boy moms that you see will never come clean about the truth of how it's like living with men, who literally living with a husband and living with other males present in your home in a environment where your life force is literally being sucked and drained out of you. Like, honestly, as someone that turns 28 in literally like 20 minutes, living with a man, like, it is such a privilege, honestly, especially in these times we're living in, to live in a beautiful home that is literally free of any male presence at all. Men, I will die on this hill, and I will forever continue to argue and die on this hill no matter what. Men suck the life out of you. Men literally drain your life force out of you. That their nature inherently is to be parasitic. Their nature inherently is to suck the life force and the energy out of you. They harvest and siphon your energy through getting you upset, through purposely, emotionally, physically dismissing you when you are in relation, when you are in proximity to them. And this happens in the home especially. They do not care for your well-being, and all they care about, and sons, with the dynamic with their mothers, and watching the way in which that Dr. Simone Whitmore's son treats his mother and talks to his mother with such entitlement, with such ingratitude, as if his mother owes him something. Like, this young man was not born to two very well off, very privileged parents, very well educated parents, who have quite literally given him what some would deem the lap of luxury. Is exactly why I will remain firm and stand 10 toes down in my conviction behind never having children. And even if I did have a child, by some miraculous event, I would never have a son. Contrary to what a lot of these male-centered boy mothers will ever tell you, a lot of these boys hate their moms. A lot of these sons are very much liabilities. A lot of these boys are good for nothing. And honestly, the matricide rates in America are literally classic
Literally a classic example of this. Now more than ever, you see more and more sons literally unaliving their own mothers, unaliving their own parents. Rest in peace to Rob Reiner and his wife, Emmy award winning director, project filmmaker, who literally they were killed in cold blood, stabbed in cold blood by their own son. You guys will never convince me that having children, especially these boys, will ever be worth it. There is no reward, it is all just risk. Period. And that's really what this boils down to. These sons that you guys are raising, these sons that you guys are creating and are raising and thinking that you're going to be the special one, you're going to be the special parent, the special woman that is going to change and make your son a productive member of society. It's practically impossible. There is no correct way to raise a son under a violent white supremacist patriarchy like the United States. Because at any point in time within their development, and it is inevitable to happen, at any point in time in their development, the patriarchy will take hold of them. And at the end of the day, there really is nothing you can do about that. And just pray and hope to God that your son doesn't grow up to be an entitled, good-for-nothing, lazy, rude, inconsiderate bum like Dr. Simone Whitmore's sons are, honestly. Like, it explains how her behavior on the show, for people who do watch Married to Medicine or have watched episodes at least of it, it explains literally why she's so angry all the time and why she lashes out at people the way, and lashes out at Cecil, her husband especially. And this husband is really not safe either. You can very much tell that the husband does not like her, and the husband does not respect her or value her either at all. No matter what, like I said, the decision to not have children, but especially to not have a son, was one of the best decisions I could have ever made. Quite frankly, as someone that has just now turned 28 years old, is happily single, happily child-free, and discusses those decisions openly on this app. Like, honestly, you boy moms are never beating the fucking allegations. Imagine being that fucking ungrateful. I've given you pretty much the lap of luxury. I've given you everything you could ever need in life. You've gotten the biggest leg up. Your father and I are willing to support you, and then this is how you treat me? Yeah, no. Wrap it up.
Y'all see, it don't matter, bro. We know what we got going on. Law school, we gonna get it figured out. In case y'all wondering, I don't drive a Jeep anymore. I drive a Tesla. So, bow.
Don't do that.
No, see, now you done stirred up some shit. Now.
Don't do that.
My bad. That's now. But we good, though. That's the moral. That's the moral. We are good, and we are a passionate family. So when y'all see us rah-rah go back and forth, those two people on my
we
screen,
rah-rah. We've been rah-rah for your
exactly.
entire life. We gonna be rah-rah. We that rah-rah family.
And that's what it is. On my screen, she's above me and he's on the right. They're passionate people, so they go back and forth, but they're strong-willed and they're smart. So that's why the back and forth gets animated. It gets a lot.
Now, I was feeling sorry for Dr. Simone and how her kids and seem like her husband is taking advantage of her and the money that they make, and her son spending $60K in however many months. I don't care if it was a year, shouldn't have been done. And them basically telling her, like, whoop-de-doo. That's what it seemed like they was telling her. But then they get on live last night or whenever and was talking this nonsense. Like, first of all, they don't respect you because at the end of the day, you're going to get mad. And then, 2 weeks later, you're going to be happy again. And like, oh, it's okay, baby. Like, it was just a disagreement. We're rah-rah. That's what we do. Like, no. Get a job. Stop spending all my money. Stop being ungrateful. Like, I know we got the money, but don't take advantage of me. And then the boy says, I don't drive a Jeep no more. I drive a Tesla. First of all, I don't know what kind of Jeep he drove. So I'm assuming it was some type of high-end, expensive Jeep for him to even say that. But Teslas, Teslas ain't that cheap either. So the basic models is around $39,000, $40,000, which to me is a lot of money for a college student. First of all, you about to get this nice used car, and be happy. But being as though this boy spent $60K in 3 months probably, I'm pretty sure he ain't got no basic model. He probably got the luxury models, which start at $86,000. So, Simone, what lesson are we teaching here? What are you really teaching these freaking men in your family? That as long as mommy got it, we all right? And not to say, because the son did say, oh, well, the white people always make sure their kids is good. That's all hunky-dory and everything. And, of course, I don't believe in making my kids struggle if I have it. But I do believe in making sure that my kids know what it means to work for what you want, to hustle for what you need, to not take our lifestyle for granted, because at any moment it can be snatched away. I do teach my kids that money don't grow on trees, and that just because we might have it don't mean that you need it all the time. Like, those are the values that need to be taught, because when you get in the real world and people start telling you no, then you're not going to know how to act. You're going to have meltdowns. You're going to think everybody against you because your parents always was saying yes, just because y'all had it. That's not how life works. So at the end of the day, I don't believe in the kicking your kids out at 18, making your kids struggle, but I do believe in teaching work ethic. Like I just was telling my daughter was talking about for college, she wanted to go to Emory nursing school in Atlanta. And I'm like, all right. And she was like, I don't want to live on campus though. And I said to her, don't you want to experience the college campus life? Because I never got a chance to do that. And my daughter is a little bougie. So she's like, I don't want to be sharing showers with nobody. And then I don't want to have this little room that I'm like, girl, whatever. And it's like, all right, you can stay home. Like, you can stay home if you want to, as long as you're in school. And my kids always talk about something, they want jobs because they want to make their own money. They want to be able to buy what they want to buy. And that's what you have to teach your kids. Like, when you got your own money, you spend all you want, boo-boo. Because you finally going to see that stuff be costing money. So, yeah, I don't believe in kicking out. You can go to school. You can live at home while you go to school. You can, but just make sure you're not taking advantage. Make sure you out there hustling, making your own money, too. Because at the end of the day, I'm always going to make sure you're good, too. But you know what? Simone raised monsters. And monsters don't go away overnight. So she gonna have to figure it out. So good luck, Bookie.
What Dr. Simone is doing is something that I see Black women do all of the time, and I figure that this is a good time to talk about it because it has real financial consequences. Like, you're not going to create a legacy. You're not going to create heirs like this. You're just going to burn yourself out. Number one, a lot of the time, they fail to create rules or boundaries or structure because they think that this stuff should be common sense. Like, really, you shouldn't have to tell nobody that they shouldn't be spending $60,000 a month, okay? Number two, when they realize that the people around them don't necessarily have the common sense that they thought they had, now they upset. Now they're mad. And they don't take accountability that they never set the rules in the first place. Number three, instead of using this as an opportunity to now create rules and structure and boundaries and all of that, they don't do it. They let it go. They give it a pass, and they set themselves up to deal with this cycle over and over and over again.
We really shocked by that woman being like, I love my daughter, but my son has my heart. Like, boy moms will know, especially if you're also Hispanic, because growing up Hispanic, what she said was not shocking. And I'm not trying to say this is right or wrong. I'm just shocked that people were surprised this was a thing, because growing up, at least in my Hispanic family, yeah, the boys definitely have favoritism.
Women out here getting on the internet letting you know that they favor their sons. It's a whole cultural practice to let the male do whatever, right? Simply because he's a male. I need you to understand that you are a major contributor to the issues on this planet dealing with men. You can't birth them and then claim that that ain't your problem. You can't hold the womb that is responsible for bringing souls here and then you disconnect yourself and act like you ain't, that their problem ain't your problem. Baby, you created the problem in so many different ways.
Here's a comment left to me from a lady on the video where I described how misandrous mentality is created in men. Please, Queen, can you speak about relationships between boys and mothers? I have 2 sons. I'm having trouble believing this about them, but not other men. That is of no surprise to me, because when you birth boys, there is a cord that is created and connected to women and their sons that psychologically manipulate women into catering to their sons, creating a codependent cord where they don't see their sons the same way they see other males. This cord connecting causes women to self-sacrifice to ensure male survival, which negatively impacts male development. When you birth boys, male fetuses leave Y chromosomal DNA scattered across the female brain in multiple regions. Bearing sons can alter your mind. Male microchimerism in the human female brain. There's a clip going around from the Real Life Street Stars episode when they asked me if I had sons, how would I raise them? That women need to cut the cord around 6 or 7 years old. And a lot of people were up in arms, but they're up in arms because they have no knowledge of male development. It's the same women who coddle their sons and then complain about the codependent nature or behavior of someone else's son that they're trying to date, while they're raising their own sons the same exact way. When you look out into the world, it is evident that women do not know how to raise male children. So the opinions of a woman about how to raise male children when they don't do any study and they are responding to the effects of male DNA scattered across their brain, I don't listen to them and their opinions are worthless to me, just as their opinions are worthless to the males whom they try to raise.
Do you have a son?
No, I have a daughter.
Okay. If you had a son, how would you raise him?
How would I raise him? Okay, what I would do is right around the time that he got to maybe 5 or 6 years old, I would, you have to cut the cord as a woman. You cannot coddle male children. So I would get a martial arts instructor. I would get somebody that had the power to make that male fall on his face, because you have to allow nature to take its course with a male and make life teach males. So I would put him in an environment that would kind of be like a mock environment, like an obstacle course, training course type of thing, that is daily, that he suffers the consequences. Let the consequences teach him. That's the way I would do it.
Just to interrupt, wouldn't that make his violent nature? Wouldn't that go towards his violent nature?
No, because those aspects teach discipline. They enforce discipline. They enforce emotional maturity or emotional intelligence. The male is emotionally reactive by nature. The male has to be trained to be emotionally expressive. He must be trained to do that because it's not natural for him. He must be trained to have self-control, right? Because by nature he doesn't. A woman cannot keep a male on her breast or keep that umbilical cord, because it will squelch his ability to be successful and to rely on his own willpower and work ethic if he is coddled too much. So you have to make him do stuff on his own. You cannot allow an 18-year-old to be sitting in your house playing video games all day because you're scared of what's going to happen to him in the world. You got to make him sink or swim. Women do not know how to make males sink or swim. They try to save them from themselves, and you can't do that with no male.
I have a genuine question. Can y'all not see your sons? boy moms, can you not see your sons? Like, I'm not even trying to be a smartass. Like, I am literally trying to unravel or understand, like, how this keeps happening. How it's getting out of hand. It's been out of hand. But, like, can y'all not see your boys? Are they like, do they just like fall into like a psychological or spiritual blind spot for you? Because y'all, boy moms don't be seeing their sons. Like, y'all don't see them. And don't get me wrong, we don't expect for you to see your children the way the world sees your children. But like, y'all literally be raising dangers to society, and y'all, it's like you don't see it. Do you see it? And you just don't care? Do you see it and the denial just like wipes that shit out? Like, this is a serious problem. This is a serious problem, and I'm not doing the whole thing with the dads. Who is there? Who's there? Who is doing the brunt of the parenting? Should you have to do it by yourself? No. No, you shouldn't. But if you are doing it by yourself because dad walked the fuck off, who raised a man who would willingly abandon his responsibilities? Who raised the dad that walked off from your sons? Furthermore, who picked a man that would walk off from their children, from their responsibilities, from their own offspring? So I'm not doing the thing with dads. Whoever's there, who does the brunt of that parenting? Whether dad is in the house or not. Moms raise children. And I don't see dads who are active in their sons' lives. I don't see them pretend like they don't see their sons. I don't see their sons falling into a fucking blind spot. Even with daughters, I don't see daughters falling into the blind spot of their fathers. I see fathers, they will blatantly be like, she mine. She get to do whatever she want to do. But that's the way that men are much more upfront about, yeah, no, I don't give a fuck about what you're talking about. This is where we stand. They have that type of integrity sometimes, much more often than women do. But it's moms of boys. Moms of boys, do y'all not see them? Like, I genuinely want to know, man, because the number of fucking, I say the number of cases, literally every MAGA, every fucking white Christian nationalist, every fucking abuser, every rapist, every fucking pedophile, everything, every man. I just fucking got off the phone with my friend, and one of her fucking young family members was fucking murdered in a brutal way. Do we need to ask whether it's a man? No. And that man is some woman's son. Some man's son too. But again, who does the brunt of that parenting? So like, do y'all not see them? Like, I don't have kids. And so I watch parents not see shit that their children do. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's that you're tired, you're desensitized, or you just don't care. But I see where parents, and it's the boys. It's the boys. Moms notice when the girls ain't doing what they're supposed to be doing, when the girls aren't self-sacrificing, when the girls don't do what they're told, when the girls talk back and are disrespectful. Moms notice that shit. Girls don't get away with that shit. Girls do not get away with that shit. But the boys will blatantly blow by you, disrespect you, wreak havoc. Like, do y'all not, like, how, Do y'all not care? Because if you didn't have children to be able to put goodness into society, what the fuck did you have children for? If you did not have children to, even if you didn't consciously choose to have children, if you are not parenting in a way that is meant to put goodness into society, to give back, to make the world a better place, what the fuck are you doing? I don't understand. I don't understand. And I would really like to understand so that we can stop. So that whatever the fuck that is that keeps women raising the predators of the world, so that we can fucking interrupt that and redirect it. Every fucking man has a mom. Every man has a dad too. But let's be real, it's moms doing the brunt of the raising, of the rearing. It's the moms who lack fucking boundaries. Men don't lack boundaries with their children like that. That's why sometimes it's very easy to see when there's something funny going on with men and children. Because men don't lack boundaries. Dads don't lack boundaries. If he told you to do something and you didn't do it, he's going to check you. Because men run on dominance. Men have boundaries. Whereas women, raised in patriarchy to be self-sacrificing, literally, y'all don't have any edges to your identity. There's no borders to your identity. So, men aren't the ones raising these problematic ass fucking men. They're not even around. They're not around. You are. So what is this thing? Why can't y'all see them? Because it gets to, like, there's no way you're not seeing them. There's no way that you're not seeing them. Do you just not care as long as they don't become your monster? Y'all don't care about the fucking men you're putting out in society while you continuously talk about the men who have traumatized you? Their moms likely raised them the way you're raising your son. So you are literally ensuring that other people end up being traumatized. Every fucking serial killer's mom believes they have a good heart. Every violent fucking man, if you were to ask their fucking mother before they committed an act of violence, pretty much every fucking mother would say that their sons had a good heart. And that was enough. So, like, man, y'all want to get here and you want to blame men for everything. Let me just go ahead and put it on the table. It's our fucking fault. Women. Yes, men are violent, but you keep fucking with violence, don't you? Yeah, you keep procreating with what you claim to be aggressive and violent. No, you don't have to. No, we could stick together. We could protect one another. But we can't do that because y'all keep centering men, and you do it with your fucking sons. You create the monsters that we all need protection from. What the fuck is that? I understand patriarchy. I don't understand all of the ramifications. I know that this is one of them. But, like, do y'all not see them? Because it boggles my mind to see your sons. And for you to either defend it, blow by it, or pretend like you don't fucking see it. And they are going to terrorize other fucking people. I can only fall back on the fact that y'all don't give a fuck. What is that?